So today I'm expecting 2 visitors to paint with me in the old factory. And we plan to paint a beautiful, little bit of a scary Halloween wall. We got 2 days, so let's get started. Okay, so it definitely is fall now. Okay, today we have 2 special guests, Yvonne and Mattez.
Hello.
You probably all know this guy from Paint on Walls Festival in Geldern. He also brought beer, and we're gonna paint this wall today. It is already almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so we maybe have another 4 hours of daylight. Let's see how much we can get done today. And we have another day tomorrow. So let's start. Hast du Cornflakes dabei oder was? This guy, he brought his own yogurt.
Yeah.
You
gotta do healthy stuff.
You always do that? Wherever you go?
Every day I eat my yogurt, wherever I go.
Okay, so we had a stroll in and outside the old factory on a hunt for the perfect wall. But we ended up picking this wall right here at the entrance, which I think is one of the better walls, but with pretty poor light conditions. So this wall comes with a little bit of a downside. Rain was expected at some point during the day, so we definitely needed to find a wall that has a roof up top. Of course, Yvonne was invited to join us on that wall as well, but she didn't feel too comfortable and wanted to paint incognito around the corner. So you see me starting to paint a doodle grid here, but I actually ended up not using it. We both wanted to paint with rollers quite a bit, and I feel like whenever you use a roller on a stick to paint, you got enough distance to the wall to kind of free paint your sketch onto the wall. Nothing has to be perfect here anyways. This entire thing is more or less a freestyle anyways. The main focus was on having a good time and not painting a masterpiece. We both got a bit inspired by the Tubuku guys and their extensive roller work. If you don't know them, I'm gonna link their Instagram down below. They are super crazy when it comes to painting with rollers, large murals with rollers as well, and combine that with spray paint as well. So they're doing really cool stuff, so definitely make sure to check them out as well. I have to admit that Mattez did stick to the plan a little bit more than I did. I ended up using a lot of spray paint in the end. I do love how quick you can fill spaces with a roller, and I really enjoy the rough look it gives the artwork. What I don't like though is that you need both hands to properly paint with it. After a while I kind of figured out a technique to hold the stick and the phone, but it still wasn't ideal. So next time I will either put a printed reference to the stick, or I would just freestyle it completely. When we had the rough shapes in place, we began filling in the background with orange and purple, with the moon in the center as our main light source basically. Weather's pretty shit, I'm not gonna lie. That's not looking good at all. Of course, during this time of the year with humidity that high, bucket paint is drying super slow. And it's also getting dark fairly early, but luckily I came prepared. I have a torch. Painting monsters and zombies is super forgiving. You can basically ignore everything you know about proportions and just do whatever you want. In fact, the more crooked you paint, the better it looks. That's a wide statement, but it may be true for zombies and monsters. Okay, you can probably not see it because it's on the GoPro, but it's getting very dark already. This is how far we've come today. The paint is super wet everywhere. So we're gonna let this dry now and come back tomorrow. Are you happy with your roller work?
I'm quite happy so far.
Very good. It's a different technique for sure. All right, see you tomorrow. Okay, day 2, we're back. Weather is still a bit gnarly, but it's definitely not raining as much anymore. So we're gonna continue and finish this piece. So the bucket paint has dried and it's light again. We can finally see what we painted yesterday. That was a little bit of a struggle to paint in the dark. And now the wall isn't reflecting and as shiny anymore. Good. Mattez is ready too. Okay, let's see. Somebody living up here. Whoa. Hello? Nobody there. I've been asked why I picked these colors as my go-to colors for the last little while. And to be honest, there's no real science behind it. It just feels right to me. And this combination may change at any time. But for now, I'm quite happy with it and I will just continue doing it until I get bored. You know, deliberately reducing your color palette makes life so much easier. You see, not only do you never have to plan your colors, you also only have to bring a portion of the cans you would usually bring on any painting day. As my half of the wall was starting to take shape, I noticed that all my McClaim caps, the tiny white ones I usually use for tiny details, they all have been used and they clogged up. Unfortunately, they tend to do that.
Black, black.
And that's when Mattez introduced me to the Montana black caps. I personally never heard of them, and they're actually very similar. I only tried them briefly. I definitely have to do more research on them and try them out a little more, but they can at least compete with a McClaim cap. Yeah, but like I said, I have to do a little bit more research on them. And by the way, in the comments of my last video, there were a few people asking me to put caps and color names on the screen as I use them. And I would love to do that, and I will definitely try that. But the truth is, whenever I paint a mural, I am all over the place. I'm always jumping from side to side, from always painting different parts of the piece, always using or switching colors, switching caps all the time. And the last thing I want to do is make my videos more complicated. But I have a few ideas how I can do that, and maybe just do that sporadically. I will figure something out, I will try it out, and we will see if that works in one of my next videos. At the very end here, I decided to make the eyes pop a little more by adding a contrast color into the iris. And let me also mention, it was a deliberate choice to not paint the pupil. This is just supposed to make the zombie's eyes look even more crazy. Not quite done with the character here, but I felt like I needed to do something else for a bit, so I began painting the background. For the moon, we tried to stencil it with some round objects we found, but none of them were big enough. So we ended up using some tape and a string to circle it. Little coffee break here, of course. I just love this machine. And whenever I put this coffee maker into one of my videos, there's usually a few people asking me what this is. So this is a Jetboil Flash. It's just a regular camp stove, basically. It's not made for cooking, it's just for boiling water to prepare your dehydrated meals or whatever. But you can also buy this coffee press thing. There's a little add-on basically. And this makes your Jetboil basically a portable propane-powered coffee maker, if you will. I bring that thing everywhere and I can totally recommend it to you. Of course, this wouldn't be a Halloween wall without some bats flying around, so here we go. Little bit of a forest at the bottom, some highlights here and there, and we are almost at the finish line. It's already getting dark again. We just finished our wall here in our little tunnel thing. Mattez is packing up his paint. Looks like he brought his entire warehouse. This man comes prepared.
Always. It looks scary and it glows in the dark.
I think it looks pretty cool.
I like it a lot.
We had a good 2 days only. But I think 1.5 actually. But I think we made the best out of it.
Yeah, more like 1.5.
1.5 days. And they were rainy too, so the paint wasn't drying super fast. But all things considered, this turned out pretty nice. So here I came back the next day to get some shots while it was light out, so you can actually see what we painted. As always, we could have spent another day to paint the details and whatnot, but I think we did a pretty good job for a day and a half. Thanks again to Mattez and Yvonne for the visit and the good chats. I am looking forward to paint with you again. And if you made it this far into the video, thanks a lot for watching. Please consider subscribing. It's totally free. You can unsubscribe anytime. And I see you guys soon. Peace. Look who's there. Percy and Smosey.
Hello, friends and followers.
Moin.
Ja.